We got some damn. Be watching videos on TikTok. You be so entertaining. So I want to check them out on stream. 333 Salty on Twitch. Let's get
Did you
into this.
know a sleeping human brain can still understand the words being spoken around it? Hello, and
Oh,
here's some
fire.
facts you didn't know. Japan does not inform death row inmates of their execution date. Instead, they tell them about an hour before it happens. Gray
Wow.
hairs can naturally regain their original color when we feel less stressed, as
Oh, that's
stress
fire.
is what causes gray hairs in most cases anyways. The word mortgage comes from a French word that means death contract. Bees are directly responsible for the production of 70% of fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts that we consume on a daily basis. Men who prefer women with larger breasts tend to be less financially secure. In
Yeah,
1719,
Bo
prisoners
says he said woman, man at the free. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. Oh, I'm sorry,
in
play. I
Paris
can't
were
talk.
offered freedom on the condition they would marry a prostitute
What
and
the
move
heck?
to Louisiana. Humans don't actually have 5 senses. We
I
have
mean,
other senses like balance, heat, pain, and the passage of time. So, humans actually have at least 14 senses. The original London Bridge is now in Arizona because the city of London sold it to build another bridge after it started falling apart in the 1960s. When men listen to women's voices, it activates the same part of the brain that processes the sound of music. Hawaiian pizza is actually a Canadian invention. So, Hawaiian pizza has nothing to do with Hawaii at all. It's actually named after the brand of canned pineapples they originally used in 1962. When Sam Panopoulos had the idea of putting canned pineapples on pizza at the Satellite restaurant in Canada. On average, men get bored of a shopping trip after 26 minutes. Cats spend so much of their time sleeping that by the age of 9, they will only have been awake for 3 years. Coca-Cola only sold 25 bottles the first year but kept going regardless. Seahorse couples greet each other every morning with a hug and a dance. It takes 21 days to get into a new habit or to quit a bad habit. Farting regularly is
how long have I been streaming for?
indicative of good intestinal health. Every single British tank has a built-in boiling vessel so the crew can enjoy tea breaks. Short women tend to be more fertile, which is why men are more attracted to them. Mexico is one of several countries that can make nuclear weapons but chooses not to do so. Did you know there are 2 times the amount of kangaroos in Australia as there are humans? Sadly, around 40% of all births in the United States come from unmarried women. Horror is the only movie film genre where women appear and spark as often as men. Taking a short nap after learning something new can actually help your memory. Spending more time outdoors can decrease your chances of depression. Tom and Jerry was a British slang term from the 1800s meaning to fight and cause trouble, so that's how the show got its idea. Sushi can help to relieve stress as it contains magnesium, pantothenic acid, and riboflavin. Daniel Radcliffe has made around $94 million from playing the role of Harry Potter and has hardly spent any of it. Did you know the average person will only remember about 18% of information just 28 days after studying it? At least once a day your immune system destroys a cell that would have become cancer if it lived. The type of music you listen to can change the way you think. Mark Zuckerberg purchased all 4 homes surrounding his house in order to ensure his privacy, for a total of $30 million. People fall in love on average 7 times before marriage. Dysania is the state of finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning. In a group of 23 random people, the chances of 2 of them sharing a birthday is over 50%. If you sleep on your right side, you will fall asleep faster than sleeping on your left side. Lemons are not naturally occurring. They were created through the breeding of bitter oranges and citrons. So we made lemons, then made lemonade. Being called baby has a positive effect on the female brain, causing instant emotional stress relief. The hormone that makes you grow is only produced when you sleep. Recycling just 1 tin can saves enough energy to watch television for 3 hours. After the premiere of the show 16 and Pregnant, teen pregnancy rates dropped by over 5%. Statistically, it's actually quite normal to have an urge to jump off a cliff. Sweden recycles 99% of locally produced waste and gets paid to import import trash from the UK, Norway, Ireland, and others. In 2018, Americans spent nearly $40 billion on purchases while they were drunk, and understandably, the majority of these purchases were food. A study found that a woman is far more likely to give a stranger her phone number if he is holding a guitar. In 2015, a man named Joel Berger married a woman named Ashley King, and Burger King paid for the whole wedding. Ice Ice Baby was the first rap song to go #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Did you know the hottest chili pepper in the world is so hot it could kill you? People who are currently alive represent about 7% of the total number of people who have ever lived. Only 2 countries use purple in their national flags. Africa and Asia are home to nearly 90% of the world's population. The most expensive coin in the world was sold for more than $7 million.
Damn.
South Sudan is the youngest country in the world, being only 11 years old. More than 52% of the world's population is under 30 years old, and only 12.3% are over 60 years old. There are more than 24 time zones around the world. Sweden has more islands than any other country. There are 43 countries that still have a royal family. All giant pandas in zoos around the world are on loan from China. Canada has 9% of the world's forests. More people speak Mandarin Chinese than any other language. Around 1 in every 200 men are direct descendants of Genghis Khan. There are 41 countries that recognize sign language as an official language. Nearly 2 people die each second. And did you know a strawberry is not actually a berry, but a banana is by the definition? Females are better at distinguishing colors, while males excel at tracking fast-moving objects and identifying details from a distance. No only child has ever become the United States president. There are more French restaurants in New York City than in Paris, France. During the day, if someone sings a song around you, there is a 90% chance that you will find yourself singing that same song sometime during that day. There are more Lego minifigures than there are total people on Earth. Snakes can help predict earthquakes. They can sense a coming earthquake from 75 miles away and up to 5 days before it happens. When they sense one, they will move out of their nest, and if it's a big one, they will even smash into walls trying to escape. If a shirt shrinks, put it in a bowl of ice water and 1 cup of hair conditioner. It will regain its size this way. Did you know millennials are the best educated yet worst paid generation in US history? There is a festival in Nepal known as Kuka Tahar, which is dedicated solely to thanking dogs for their loyalty and friendship. Scientists have found the fossils of fishes on the peaks of the Himalayan mountains. This contributes to the theory that the entire Earth was once completely covered in water. A sophomaniac is a person who's under the delusion that they're extremely intelligent. Around 1 in 6 marriages begin from online dating in our current decade. Without bats, we wouldn't have tequila, as tequila comes from the agave plant which bats pollinate. If you were born before the year 2000, you have lived in 3 decades, 2 centuries, and 2 millenniums. Eating 2 burgers is actually healthier than eating 1 burger with a side of fries. The 8-hour workdays were adopted so people could divide the 24 hours of the day evenly. For 8 hours of labor, 8 hours of free time or recreation, and 8 hours of resting. Bananas are curved because they grow against the pull of gravity. They begin growing downwards, but as they get larger, they grow upwards to catch more sun, resulting in a curved shape. In the United Kingdom, it's not a crime to hide your STD status from any partners, although it's morally wrong on many levels. The shiniest living thing on Earth is the Pollia condensata, which is an African fruit. A moonbow is a rainbow produced by moonlight rather than direct sunlight. Beaver eyelids are transparent so that they can see through them as they swim underwater. New Yorkers bite 10 times more people than sharks do each year. Just 30 minutes of daily complaining can physically damage your brain. And listening to someone constantly complain also negatively affects your brain function. Disney facts you didn't know. Over 80% of the plants in Tomorrowland are edible, and it used to be 100% of the plants. They plant kale, artichokes, lemons, and lots of different fruits or vegetables, and even herbs or spices. You are never more than 30 steps away from the trash can at any point in a Disney park. The American flags at Disneyland are all fake, and lots of them are missing a star or a stripe on them. This is so they don't have to follow the codes of flying at half-mast and taking them down. And In 1955, a one-day ticket to Disneyland was only $1.
Wow.
However, the rides had fees of 25 to 35 cents each. There is not any gum sold inside the Disney parks to help keep the parks clean. And since Disney World opened, over 1.6 million pairs of glasses have been lost. As well, every year they find over 6,000 phones and 3,500 cameras.
Damn.
Did you know Germany is where the tradition of Christmas trees originated? Christmas facts. Christmas cards from the Victorian era were terrifying. Christmas wasn't always on December 25th, as it wasn't even mentioned in the Bible. The Dutch gave us the idea to leave cookies and milk because on St. Nicholas feast day, Dutch children leave Santa food and drink in exchange for the gifts he leaves. Rudolph was a marketing ploy started in 1939 when the Montgomery Ward store asked one of its writers to create a Christmas story for kids. Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song called One Horse Open Sleigh by James Pierpont, but in 1857 the song was re-released under the title we all know and love. Celebrating Christmas used to be illegal from 1659 to 1681. Anyone caught making merry in the colonies would face a fine for celebrating. Did you know Halloween is not the holiday's only name? Hello, and here's some Halloween facts. It also goes by other names such as Witch's Night, Summer's End, and Snap Apple Night. The word Samhainophobia means the fear or phobia of Halloween. They used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins back in the day. Wearing a clergy costume is a misdemeanor in Alabama. Now for some random facts related to Halloween. The average calorie count of a bag of Halloween candy is 11,000. The largest pumpkin ever measured was 2,702 pounds. 69% of people are reported to be celebrating Halloween in 2022. 1 in 5 people usually buy a costume for their pet as well. October 30th is Candy Corn Day. The fastest pumpkin carving ever was achieved in 16.47 seconds. Hello, and here's some things to do when you're bored. Play an instrument if you don't know how. This is the perfect time to learn how to pluck out your favorite tune on the piano or a guitar. Write a short story or an essay or even a play, just anything that's out of your comfort zone. Tie-dye white t-shirts and a matching color scheme with your friends. When the shirts are dried, have an inside photo shoot and post the photos. Bake something sweet because nothing is more delicious than a fresh cookie out of the oven. Bake up a storm using recipes found online or be creative and make your own. Count up any random cash you have lying around the house and see how much you can find you didn't know about. If you have Netflix, then just go to Netflix and click the random shuffle play button and watch whatever the first thing that plays is. Grab anything you can find and pretend it's a microphone and just sing your favorite songs alone or with some friends. You get smarter simply by
got like 9 kids. Don't put the game up. I'm about to do that right now. Talking about. Catch you on the next one though, YouTube.